Hey guys, welcome to the July 2018 Q&A. Right in the beginning of July, because this month is crazy. Yeah, just got back from a Comic-Con, and then in a week I'll be going to San Diego, doing a lot of work there, prepping for San Diego, and still been sick for about 2 weeks. So recovering from that. Still very much recovering from that. So all right, let's get started though, because I see questions in the chat, and of course, if you guys don't know how this works, I do answer questions about comics, TV, movies, and hopefully you guys don't hear the washing machine because that's on, and I'm right next to it, but it's not as loud as it used to be. We got a new one. Used to like shake the house, our washing machine. All right, let's see. Let's see what's going on. Why am I so evil, Jay? It's always evil. Always the evil person. All right, let's go on to the first question. Kenneth, Kat, do you think it's easy or harder to write for established comic book characters like Superman, Batman, Spider-Man, or newer comic book characters? I think there's positives and negatives to both. The easier aspect of writing for known characters is that you don't have to create the world. The world's already there. You know the characters already. But, you know, you have the popularity of the characters. You might do something that people disagree with. So I think that's a hardship of writing characters like Spider-Man or Superman. And then we have, you know, characters that are new. They're easier in the fact after you figure out their worlds that you created these characters, so you could kind of do whatever you want with them because it's your thing. No one else is owning it. But like I said, I think the harder part of that is that you still have to create the world. You got to figure out these characters as you go along, and if you are a writer, you kind of understand that's a hard part about writing, but the fun part about writing as well. All right, let's go down. Kenneth, Kat, have you ever seen Superman Returns, and did you like the film? For me, it was not a good Superman film, though the airplane rescue was the best part of the movie. Yeah, I saw it probably when it came out on DVD. I did not see it in theaters. I remember I saw Batman Begins and that back to back. I didn't see Batman Begins in theaters, but we got the DVD like right when it came out. And I hated it. I didn't like it. So remember, I think brother fell asleep. I wanted to fall asleep watching it. All right, next is Kat. Now that the content has been announced, what else do you want to see on DC TV Universe streaming service? I want to see the stuff they've announced first. You know, I don't want to hear any other projects. I want to see these successful, and then, you know, I could say, oh, I want this show, I want that show. I want to see they got a lot on their plate. Let's see them succeed with that first. All right, next is still from Kenneth. Kat, and last one for now. Besides Christopher Reeves, Tom Welling, Tyler Hoechlin, and Henry Cavill, who is your favorite versions of Superman, Clark Kent, media animated? I mean, I think you named the big ones. My favorite probably be Tyler. I think he's played the best Superman. But you also can't compare it to Christopher Reeve's performance because he kind of created Superman in a lot of ways. So at least how we know him in media. George Reeves was before that, but I think the Superman we especially know is because of him. But for me, I guess in a modern setting, it would be Tyler, but we haven't seen as much with Tyler. So you would always have to go with Christopher Reeves would be the obvious answer. All right, let's see. We got Scotty in the comments. Let's see. Kat, do you think that, in this Kenneth, Kat, do you think the third seasons of all the DC TV shows going back to Smallville tend to be darker seasons? Yeah, I mean, not even just DC TV. That tends to happen with genre television in general. So I'm not surprised that's happened with the DC TV shows. Legend Storm says, Kat, what shows you're looking forward to the most at Comic-Con? I would have said Runaways if Runaways was there, but they're not. I'm sad about that. But probably Young Justice. That's definitely the one I'm most looking forward to. by far is Young Justice. And I will be at that panel, so don't worry. I'll be tweeting away, and whatever we get to see, I'll do coverage for that as well. All right, let's see. And I do have a lot of press rooms that I'm setting up for too. Don't have my final schedule yet, but I always try to keep a surprise. Anyways, I try not to say anything until I do those press rooms, and then you guys get to see what videos I have. Usually I share on Twitter and Facebook like a day before I upload them. All right, let's see. Kenneth asks another question. We have a couple more highs from Scotty J, the Flash Chapter, the Shape Chapter also. Kenneth says, Kat, do you think the CW's Supergirl will get back to being a lighter show in season 4? I thought season 3 was darker. I don't know. I mean, after the cliffhanger, I just finished Supergirl yesterday. So I don't know after the cliffhanger of this season, but I hope it's not as dark as this season. I think one of my big complaints of this season was Kara being so distant to her roots on Earth and wanting to go away from that. That was my least favorite part. But my favorite part being Lena, Sam, I really liked as villain for the most part. I think she was really different. And I really liked John this back half of the season. I thought he had a really strong arc. But was kind of more of a dark horse character because of everything else going on. But I like John a lot this season as well. So everything's fresh in my head with that. Jay says, you know you're evil. Always. If you read the top 5 panels to see why I'm evil, Jay wanted to have multiple panels. And I said, no. Only do 5 and an honorable mention. So he had to fit his ideas and thoughts into his honorable mention. All right. Legend Storms says, who's your favorite LGBTQ comic characters? Julie Power, obviously. Carolina, obviously. Who else? Those are 2. Zoe from Miss Marvel. Who else? Some indie stuff? KJ from Paper Girls. Wiccan and Hulking. But yeah, those are like my top, probably. I really like Chris from Hi-Fi Fight Club. There's a lot of great LGBTQ characters in comics. Let's see. Okay. Scotty, what shows have you enjoyed the most in the past week? Well, I've been binging the DC shows. I've been trying to binge those. So right now, I in the past month, I would say I binged Supergirl, Black Lightning, iZombie. And a lot of these shows, I watched a bit of it during the season, but then, fell behind. So like Flash, I have about 8 episodes left. And then Arrow, I have about 12 episodes left. After I watched, I think, 7 to 12 today. So I watched a good amount today. Still trying to watch it all. So, and I got to watch it for work. So trying my hardest. And I watched like 2 or 3 episodes of Luke Cage. And then because of the DC TV binge, I had to put Luke Cage on pause. I'm desperate to watch Glow. I want to watch it so bad. But again, I have all these other shows to watch beforehand. They're a bit more connected to work. So gotta wait on Glow. Because I know if I watch Glow, I'll just like keep wanting to watch the next episode. So other shows I really want to watch. Killing Eve has been on my list for months, and I haven't been able to watch that. A new YouTube Red show, Impulse. It's based on Jumper, and I really like that movie, so I want to see that. I heard really good stuff about that new HBO show. A lot of people telling me I should watch that. Big Little Lies is still on my list to watch. What else? I actually have a binge list. I don't forget what I have to watch. Let me see what else is on that list. I can take Supergirl off now. Owlgirl. I love that show. Behind on it. I just watched the middle finale, series finale. That was good. But still like behind some of my comedies as well. So yeah, trying to play catch up. It's hard, man. It's hard. Legend Storm TV. What is the hardest part of writing LGBTQ characters? I mean, since I'm not part of the community, I would say just trying to represent those characters as, as as realistically as I can. And I ask people who are part of the LGBT community who I'm friends with for advice as I watch, write those characters. So yeah, just try to, try to represent as real as you can for those characters, just like any character. Let's see. Scotty says, what shows have you enjoyed the most? Oh, I'm sorry. I read that already. Tony X, how's it going? How's it going, Tony? Legend Storm TV, what is your favorite comic you've read in the past month? Let me look at my pick of the weeks, and I can tell you. Let's see. I mean, whatever my pick of the weeks were. I think it was X-Men Gold, Nancy Drew, in the last couple of weeks. What else? Paper Girls 21 probably was in a month. And then Go-Go Power Rangers? No, Kill or Be Killed was definitely one. But out of those, I mean, probably X-Men Gold because of me being a huge Kitty fan. But there's a lot of good comics out. But yeah, I usually look at my pick of the weeks, and those are the ones. Let's see. Legends says, what is the best Runaways run? That's hard. I love the original, but I'm loving the current one. So I would have to see how the current one ends before I could really compare the two. So I'd say right now, the original, just because we know how it begins and how it ends. But I think the current one's definitely inching up there to being my favorite Runaways run. Let me load the rest, sorry. Let's see. Scotty says, what's something you enjoy most about cons? What's something that's challenging about cons? What I enjoy most, I guess I'll do two separate versions, going to a con as press and going to a con as exhibitor. I'll do press first. I mean, press, obviously, just like, meeting the creators or celebrities that are part of shows I really enjoy and being able to ask them questions and putting up, content for that is definitely my favorite. Least favorite? Probably around this time where you have to prep for all that. It's really stressful. And the lack of sleep. The lack of sleep is really stressful for both New York and San Diego. And then exhibiting wise, my favorite part is obviously meeting you guys and being able to spread the word about my comic to people that, haven't heard about it. So that's my favorite. My least favorite, probably the amount of hours I have to do it for, right? I tend to get really sick after just because I'm like, you have to be really upbeat. You're standing a lot, you're doing a lot of stuff. I tend not to eat during conventions. I know that's not good, but I try to, stay there as long as I can. So yeah, probably what it does to my body, which I'm feeling now. I'm definitely feeling the aftermath of that. I've been doing a lot of back-to-back conventions. So, that's probably the negative of it, but positive, I mean, definitely outweighs the negative. All right, let's see. Legends asks, Kat, what is your favorite indies comic? Right now, Paper Girls, 100%. That's easy. Tony, Kat, are you going to watch the PLL, Pretty Little Liars, The Perfectionist when it premieres? Yeah, definitely. I'll probably follow through that one, unless it gets like super bad. But I'll 100% watch the pilot. Legends X, are you excited for Legends Season 4? Yeah, of course. Then we got Scotty says, how are you doing tonight? What's one of the best summer activities to rest and chill? I'm doing well tonight. Besides, I was feeling a little sick before this, but best thing to chill, probably like getting out of the house, or even just like going in the pool, doing stuff like that. I enjoy that. I don't do it as often as I should. Yeah, I would say just getting out of the house, like getting away from the computer. That's usually the best way to spend time, chill out. Because I think old me would say like watch TV, but that's like part of my job, so it's kind of hard to separate that. So I would say like getting away from all that, getting away from all the stuff I love, which is part of my job, and just doing something different. That's kind of the best way to chill. All right, let's see. Brant. 3 episodes in, and that's my problem with Supergirl 2 this season. Her detachment to her human side. Yeah, it just gets worse, Brent. It just like it goes on, and it's hard to connect because of it. But for me personally, it was why I liked the season. Again, with Sam and Lena, I think really made the season. And I think Alex's arc was okay. I understood her arc by the end. With what they had to do with Maggie. I thought made sense. So I think they're building up to a better season, which is good. Legend says, if you could ever do a charity stream, what would be the charity you would most love to choose? Mine would be the Autism Speaks. Probably like something like the Boys and Girls Club. I would have to look a little bit more into that charity, but just having youth being able to be part of a community that's really important to me. So that'd probably be the one I pick. Kenneth, Kat, I did like Supergirl. Oh, and also another charity. My mom's been part of like the juvenile diabetes thing for a really long time, so that would probably be a charity as well. All right, next is Kat. I did the like Supergirl season 3. Did not hate this season, but first seasons, in my opinion, are better. Okay. Scotty says the Discord music challenge doing really well. Do you ever think of starting one on comics and movie forum? Oh yeah, totally. After the music's one's done, I think either a comic or TV one would be a lot of fun. I'm enjoying it. I'm glad that other people are, partaking in it. If you're not part of Discord, go check it out. Hopefully either Alan or Jay are in the comments, or even Brant could leave the Discord link. That way you guys could go check out the Discord because it's always a lot of fun over there. And, share stuff that we don't normally get to talk about. I'm a huge music fan. So Legend Storm says, what's the hardest part of podcasting? Scheduling, probably. I do Legends Tomorrow podcast, Media Madness, and Frontline Live. Frontline Live is easier because it's every Tuesday at 10. There's a plug. But yeah, and you'll see, like, not all the time we could always make it on that day where the whole cast is there. Media Madness, sadly, this summer has been delayed because of me. I just had a lot of stuff going on this summer. But scheduling with us and other people to make sure it all comes together. And even Legends, that's the thing that we have to figure out as well with our schedules is this bringing it together. But once we do those podcasts, they're awesome and fun. So yeah, those are 3 I do. Mortal Mario 17. If you could recommend one ongoing Marvel book, what should it be? Runaways, probably. But that's hard because I love Miss Marvel and Spider-Gwen too. Scotty says, what is one takeaway that you had with your social media centered interview with the creators of Snot Girl? I'm really proud of that interview, so thank you, Scotty, for bringing it up. I would say just seeing their point of view on stuff. I really, I analyzed the book, or super analyzed that book because I love it, about Lottie as a character and just taking away what they thought of her as a character that maybe I didn't recognize, or I'm glad they recognized or believed in the same thing that I believed in with the character as a reader, which is cool because that's something, as a writer myself, like sometimes you'll take away something from Stephanie or Casey or Wes or Vulnerable that I particularly didn't take away from. And I'll say Dancer is very much a book about that. By the end of that series, I want you to take away maybe something completely different than I took away from the series. So I think that's always important. Let's see. Flash Shapeshifter stayed away from season 3 of Supergirl. I don't know why. I did like season 2 finale more than season 1's. It's still a solid season. I would watch it. I enjoyed my time with it. I do think it was weaker because of the hiatus, though. Loading a lot more questions. Sorry. Let's see. Hold on. Thank you guys for all the questions. All right. Oh, it's Brand's talking about a music challenge. You didn't know about our music challenge? Must have missed out. We'll check it out. Well, Brand's going to go check it out now. Jay says each day there's a song you have to place for a specific thing, like a song that makes you want to dance. And there are a lot of musical people on Discord, which is fun. Yeah, and one thing I like about the challenge is that you get to see songs that maybe you didn't originally think of or never heard of, and might find some new favorites. Because we all have different tastes in music. Harry Bean, any guesses on villains for Batwoman CW X Over episode? No, I really don't have any guesses. I'm sure we'll find out during Comic-Con though, or at least find out who's going to be cast for Batwoman. Tony says, much respect to you, Kat. That is a lot of shows to watch. Oh, yeah. Thank you. Harry Bean, surprised that Spider Noir will be into the Spider-Verse film. Am I surprised? No, I think we're going to get a lot of Spider characters that aren't even announced that are going to be surprised in the film because it's called Spider-Verse. I would be more surprised if we didn't get those type of characters. Fingers crossed for Mayday. Super excited for that movie, though. And I'll talk about the whole Nicolas Cage thing on Frontline Live tomorrow. All right, let's see. Kenan says, Kat, thoughts on Brian Michael Bendis Superman run now that Man of Steel miniseries has ended? I thought it was solid. I thought it was a solid run. Looking forward to seeing where he takes it. Scotty says X-Men 30 got a 5-star rating for you. Has that ever happened before? Have any other books come close? Oh yeah, I've had 5-star books before. It's just rarer, I would say. I don't give 5 stars like every week. Probably like every 3 months I'll give a 5-star rating. But it has to be perfect for me. And for me personally, X-Men Gold was perfect. So I enjoyed that book a lot. It's all subjective. I know other people didn't like it, but I enjoyed it. Thought the artwork was beautiful. It's a good book for me. Tony, Kat, I can't wait until you and Jay get to Cloak and Dagger. It's good. Well, we did do a Cloak and Dagger Media Madness. If Jay or, again, Alan is in the comments, they could leave a link in the chat of our Cloak and Dagger show. I had different opinions on the show. I haven't watched it since the premiere because, again, just been busy. We'll see if I watch it, continue to watch it, but wasn't a fan. Didn't really like it. All right, let's see. Ryan Compton would like Follow Daughter. What would be the next step for your IP as far as animation or graphic novel if you had the capital? Well, I will say the Kickstarter for a trade is coming out really soon, this summer. So watch out for that. We've been prepping other work I've been doing behind the scenes that we've been prepping to get that out. Issue 5 will be a part of that. Not the trade, but part of that Kickstarter. So look out for that. We're almost done with issue 5, at least with the pencils. We're just finishing inking. And then we just have to color and letter. Super proud of this issue. So excited for you guys to read it. Stuff I would like to see. I mean, I don't want to say stuff I'm working on, but yeah, taking it maybe to another medium would be fun. All right. Let's see. Got something on my chin? Do I? Oh, it's a pimple probably, man. Yeah, sorry. It happens. All right, let's see. That was Noel. Only human. Legend Storm, what is your favorite DC TV crossover? I don't know. I think they're all a work in progress. But probably the Alien one is my favorite. The Invasion one so far, my favorite. Scotty, what do you think about people becoming millionaires off Instagram and YouTube with vlogs and skits? You ever think about bringing back more random situations? I mean, it's crazy. It's cool that people are able to push their career with YouTube. And I didn't become a millionaire, but I was definitely able to push my career because of my YouTube stuff. So that's been great. In the random situations, never say never, but this is right now. My brother's working, I'm working, so it's harder, but we love it. It's a lot of fun, and we still love those characters. And hopefully you guys could watch it. That'll definitely give us the drive to do more. Jay says, how has going to cons as a fan changed for you after going to press and exhibiting? I don't know. I can't tell you. It's a weird question. I do a lot now. So it's just, I guess when I was starting to do this, I was a lot more like, I have to do this panel. I have to do this. And now I'm just like, I get to it, I get to it. You know, I don't force myself as much as I used to, which I think is healthier. um, so that's honestly helped me. Legends, Storm TV, what is your favorite podcast? I don't really listen to podcasts, which is weird to say. I don't. I don't have time. I'll say Zone 4. That's the only one I really listen to. So Zone 4. Harry Bean, what comic solicits intrigue you? I'm looking forward to MST 3000 from Dark Horse. I'll say watch out for my Twitter. That's where I put out like my thoughts on the solicits, and also on Marvel, the Marvel Report, which I don't work for officially still anymore, but because I had a lot on my plate, or else I would have loved to do that as well. But I still help out Jay and Tatiana with their commentary, Marvel commentary article. So every month I give my thoughts to the Marvel books there, so you can check that out. I always try to spread my thoughts on the solicits when they come out. Noel Fries says, I got something on my chin. I'm telling you, dude, it's a pimple. I don't know what you're talking about. It's nothing on my chin. This is it, right? Right here, they're pimples, man. All right. Happens when you're stressed out. All right. Nick Len says, yo, Kat, how are you? I'm doing good. Tony says, Kat, what show are you binging right now is your favorite? Out of the shows I binged, probably iZombie. I really liked iZombie this season. I think it's just such a well-written show. Yeah, out of those. It's interesting as I go down the list, my ratings become lower. So like my highest rated was iZombie, then it was Black Lightning, then it was Supergirl. I haven't finished Arrow yet. I have a feeling it's gonna be lower than Supergirl. And then Flash, I've watched most of the seasons. I have a feeling it's gonna be lower than Arrow. So we'll see if that is the trend. I leave my ratings on Twitter when I finish, because I think it's a cool way to release my thoughts. If I can't do a review, guys at least get to know what I'm thinking. So follow me on Twitter and Facebook if you want my thoughts on that when I finish. See, Jay, I said Zone 4. Sky says bring a sandwich to conventions. I don't like sandwiches. I know I'm weird. I don't like them, which is why it's hard to find a quick lunch. Sky says, can you pull a song from the 30-day Discord challenge that tells us a little more why it is a good song to you? I don't have the list in front of me, but if someone has a list, you can ask me like, why did I pick that song? I could tell you. So maybe just like, oh, why did you pick this song? Let's see. She might say her podcast for Legends tomorrow. Let's see. Sky says, you can't pizza in your pocket. You can you? That's true. It wouldn't taste good if you did. Legend says, what is your favorite musical of all time? Legally Blonde. I like Hamilton a lot too. Let me load this. Sorry, it's just loading. Let's see. Okay. Nick said, have you ever read New X-Men Academy X, New X-Men series? I haven't actually. I know Jay's a big fan though. Legends. I want to listen to New Zone 4, but I haven't yet seen Incredibles 2. Yeah, go definitely check that out. Sky says, do you think it would be tricky to set up a live YouTube-based charity event? I don't know. I mean, DCTV podcast, they end up doing it every year. Sadly, I couldn't make it this year. I was away, so but I don't know. Maybe one day I'll be able to do it. All right, let's see. What shows from the upfronts do you think will be canceled? Oh, man, upfronts are such a long time ago. I think a lot of them. There's always such a big pile that end up getting canceled. I don't know. I would have to have the list in front of me, but go check out our Media Madness about it. That'll give our thoughts on what we thought about each. Legend Storm, how high is your understanding of people with autism? I don't have anybody in my life that, well, I'm lying. There's one person I know. No one in my physical life that I know who has autism. So I guess not as high as people that have family members or friends that have autism. But I have family members that are in the medical field, so I know, I guess, a little about that. But again, I don't have any like family or friends. Nathan says, hey. Tevia says, hey. Scotty says, how do you prioritize all the creative projects you have to complete in a week? Can you share anything that is currently on the deck? That's a great question. I always have a lot to do. So I write a to-do list how I could physically see what I have to do. Right now, the big thing I have to do this week is to finish Arrow and Flash. Also, I mean, I do a lot through emails, social media stuff I have to get done. Short fuse work that I do. Again, we're working on the Kickstarter, so I have a lot of behind the scenes stuff I do with that. With doing press, there's a lot of emails you have to send, a lot of prep work you have to do to actually know what your schedule is going to be. And I'm also freelancing for Newsarama, so I'm working with Newsarama to figure out what my schedule is for them. So yeah, I have to prepare that all this week. And then I have 2 articles I'm writing for Fandom, so that's due before Comic-Con. And with those articles, I have to rewatch stuff. So I have to rewatch some stuff to kind of understand what I want to say in the article. I have about 3 interviews I'm working on for Newsarama. 2 of them I'm working on this week. One of them I have to transcribe. Day in the life. Obviously, my reviews I have to do this week. Read about 20 books. Write reviews for Frontline. My top 5 panels. What else I have? Do this Q&A. Yeah, those are the big stuff. And something I have to do, writing creatively. I have a project that's been on my deck for a while, and I have to get done this summer, and I haven't yet. So I just finished a short story I was doing for Short Fuse, so I was happy I got that done. It's been on my deck for a while. Yeah, and actually like having room to be creative and maybe work on other projects. That's all this week, right? I probably have more than that this week too, but on top of that, watching Arrow, Flash, all that. So it's a lot, man. A lot of stuff this week. And I have Media Madness this Saturday too. So, and then Frontline Live and Legends tomorrow. Oh man, a lot of stuff. It's a little bit of a stressful week. Nick says, what is your least favorite DC Rebirth book? Probably something that I've dropped. Green Lanterns I was very disappointed with because it started out really well and then went down for me. Nightwing I wish I liked more than I did. I like Justice League less than a lot of people do. Those are some on the top of my head. Legends, if you could recommend one wedding event, what would it be? I don't know what that means. Like, I don't know. Go weddings of people you know. That's, or you mean comic book? Oh, that makes more sense. I thought you meant in real life. It was like, I don't know. Go to weddings you're invited to, I guess. Wedding events. Spider-Man for me has always been the go-to. I love the Spider-Man wedding. Let's see. Scotty, do you ever feel overwhelmed by just how much entertainment media there is out there? Or is it just a case of you can't get too much of a good thing? I think this week proves how much overwhelmed I am with all the media out there. You want to watch it all, but it's impossible. It's impossible. And I think I've begun to learn that. Like Luke Cage, I wanted to finish that, but it's impossible to watch all these shows when you're just one human being. So yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot, and just try to find the stuff you really like, which is why like I haven't finished Cloak and Dagger because it's just something I wasn't as passionate about. So you can't watch it all. Why I dropped Agents of Shield, Krypton I dropped. Let's see. Jay agrees that Runaways is the most consistent Marvel title. I'm gonna reload the questions because thank you guys for you know, asking a lot. I appreciate that. All right, let's see. Tevia says, question, with the death of Inhumans, I'm just wondering, do you think all of the new Inhumans are going to go away? I don't know. I'm not reading it, and I'm really not attached to Inhumans, so if they do or they don't, like I kind of care less besides Miss Marvel. That's the only Inhuman I really like. Scotty says, continue the story for a few lines. Once upon a time, Mayday Parker was doing her laundry at the New York City laundromat until she heard, oh man, this is fun. All right, until she heard, heard a noise. That's it. That's all I'm gonna go. Oh man, it'd be too much work to do that whole story, but that's fun, man. That's a fun one. Maybe bring that on Discord, and I'll finish it up there. Just live, it's kind of hard to do. I'll finish it up over there. All right, let's see. Harry, did you try any Walmart DC books? I haven't. I bought Batman Teen Titans. I haven't been able to read it yet. I already answered favorite musical legends. All right, let's see. Flash Shapeshifter. Kat, what are your top 3 anime and superhero intros? Man. Batman is cool. Teen Titans is cool. Young Justice is cool. I mean, those are 3. X-Men Evolution is a cool opening. I would have to sit down and look at all the openings to make a concrete top 3. Rodney says, you are the illest. Am I that sick? Question, Kat, with the upcoming Spider-Geddon event, do you think Mayday Parker, aka Spider-Girl, and Annie Mae Parker are going to get screwed over? Yo, dude, Dan Slott's not even writing the book. You're putting Dan Slott under the bus and he's not even writing. I think, you know, I'm just glad to see May getting some story if she does. Tevia didn't like Man of Steel, which they say Main of Steel, but I know you mean Man. Scotty, did you prefer Legally Blonde the movie or the musical more? I mean, the movies probably I enjoyed them more because, I mean, they're both nostalgic for me, but still love the musical. The musical I tend to, I would say, revisit more than I do the movie. Creative Experiments as Kickstarter, question mark. Yeah, we're I don't want to announce the date yet. I'm going to just say very soon we're going to have the Kickstarter. I don't want to say anything that I'm not supposed to. But this summer, we will have the Kickstarter for like Fall Like Daughter of the Trade, which issue 5 will be involved with. So a lot of cool goodies coming out for that. All right. The Flash Shapeshifter. Do we know who's writing Peter's Spider-Man book now, or Miles? Miles, we don't know. Nick Spencer's writing the Peter book. Scotty says, if you could translate like Father Like Daughter to another language and bring to another country, what language would you choose and what country would you go to cons for? I think Spanish probably makes the most sense because there's a lot of people that speak Spanish. So I'd probably say Spanish. But if I wanted to translate it and like want to promote it in another country, I think Japanese would be really cool to go to Japan. I don't know if my book would be that audience, but I think that'd be kind of cool. Let's see. I know Brazil has like a lot of like fandom stuff. So maybe like Brazilian be cool too. Prowler said, sad for a passing of comic book legend Steve Ditko. Me too, me too. I had Pimple's face since the Clinton administration. Haha. It happens, guys. You know what? It's just what it is. And when I personally, when I'm stressed, that's when I get pimples. So, all right, let's see. Gave some zone 4 love, Brent. I eat too many chips. That too. She has pimple. Proves she's not a comic reading robot. There you go. Right? I'm only human. All right, let's see. We'll be doing a Media Madness on the DC TV finales. Yes, we will. Another reason why I'm trying to binge them all. Nick says, how you been since we saw each other at MegaCon Orlando? Busy. Busy, man. Legend Storm TV. Have you ever heard the musical or seen the musical Dear Evan Hansen? I've heard the music, have not seen it. And I'm not going to like watch it anywhere just because if I do end up seeing it, I like to have the experience. Question, Kat, how do you feel about Bendis' Man of Steel miniseries taking away John and Lois? Because me personally, I thought it was a mistake. Thought it was interesting that Lois went with him. I think it could bring for a really cool story. I liked it personally. I thought that was actually the best story that came out of Man of Steel. Next to the Kandor being destroyed, Argo, whatever. Let's see. Couple comments. Tony, what chips do you like to eat while watching your shows? Sour cream or hot Doritos? Tavia, question, Kat, how do you feel about the passing of Steve Ditko? I mean, we're all definitely sad, just like everyone else. That's a weird question, Nick. All right. Every Q&A, Nick. Legend Storm. Wow, 2 fandom articles. I love fandom. Thank you. Yep, we got 2 coming up. 1 Marvel related, 1 DC TV related. All right, let's go. Overkill, Men at Work. What are some thoughts on that? One of my favorite songs. Love it. I love Men at Work in general. Really enjoy their stuff. But the reason I enjoyed that one, first heard it on Scrubs and have fell in love with it since. And always utilized it in different stuff. I remember when I was in high school, me and my friends just like fooled around and like made a show, which I would never, reveal on the internet. But we did a show just for us, and I utilized that song. Like when we play Rock Band and stuff, always have Overkill on there. So yeah, it's just a song that's always been with me that I enjoy. Nathan, do you think Cat Black Widow will be rated R or PG-13? PG-13. If it happens after the controversy with what's her face? Scarlett Johansson. Let's see. Is Supergirl still bad? I never thought Supergirl. Oh, the comic series or the TV show? TV show I never thought was bad. Comic series, we'll find out when the new one comes out. Legends, what are your thoughts on Batman Wedding? Did a review, did like 3 videos on it. Go check that out. Check out Comic Doodle episode, my versus video for X-Men Gold, and my individual review for Batman. Scotty says he's fallen behind on wrestling. Yeah, even stuff you love, you just tend to fall behind sometimes. Yeah, so the comic, yeah, it hasn't come out, the new one yet, so I can't give my thoughts on it. Scotty says, if you're a hero, Marvel or DC or other, so that's the first part. Probably Marvel. Who would you team up with? Mayday. Who would your villain be? I don't know. I want someone easy. The Box Ghost from Danny Phantom. What other heroes would you chill with? I don't know. If it's with Mayday, I'd like hanging out with Cass. Cassie Lang. That'd be fun. Maybe Kate. What product would you sponsor? Chips, man. What else would I sponsor? Let's see. Miles Morales and Spider-Gwen. I don't know what that was for. That was Bobby Beast said that. Let me load some more of the questions. Yeah, definitely keep coming with the questions, guys. What cartoons of the 90s do you have on DVD? I believe X-Men I have on DVD. Somewhere around my house. Legend Storm. Favorite Gold Ranger out of these? Jason, Daggergon, Jem, Antonio, Sir Ivan, or Levy? Jason. Flash Shape Chapter. My brother asks, do you think maybe should Miles meet Miguel? What? Maybe should meet Miles or Miguel. Who? Do you think they should meet together? I think they probably did during Spider-Verse. Kat, how do you feel on Spider-Gwen being on that Spider-Man TV show? Because me personally, in my opinion, I thought the Spider-Man TV show misinterpreted Spider-Gwen a huge lot. Yeah, I mean, I thought they would do something different with her, but now you have Marvel Rising, so I think there's another opportunity to portray her maybe closer to the comics. But at the same time, once again, show wasn't targeted me, so it didn't affect me if they did whatever they did with her. So Tony says, Kat, would you like to see Emily Van Camp do another show with similarities from Revenge? Of course. Nathan, what do you think of the new Double Dare? Haven't watched it, and honestly didn't really watch the original that often. Legend Storm, what is your favorite food? Chips can't be an answer. Buffalo wings. I like spicy food. Ian Sweeney said hello. I say hello. Let's see. Sorry. Scotty, if you could snap your fingers and have these in your hands, what would you do? Food on your choice. Buffalo wings. Any drink. Coke cherry. 2 tickets to anywhere in the world. Australia. Scotty gave a shout out to the 20 people watching. And yeah, Brand, Double Dare. They have it's out. They rebooted it. Or relaunched it, I guess. Legends, is there a Zone 4 Media Madness crossover in the works? I mean, anytime Brant comes on is a Zone 4 Media Madness crossover. Is there a musical episode of Media Madness coming up? Yeah, this August. We're going to do probably our karaoke guest. What we do is that we name an artist, and one of us have to say, sing a verse from a song from that artist, or name a song, and then we have to sing a verse from that song, and we see who knows the most music. It's always a lot of fun. So we'll be probably doing that in August. Jim Curl said, hey, met you at Ace Comic Con New York City last year. Hope you're doing well. I need more like Father Daughter. Thanks, Jim, for following me on the channel. Like I was saying before, we do have a Kickstarter coming up for the trade. Issue 5 will be part of that as well. So definitely a lot more like Father Daughter to come. Ian said, did you hear about the Loud House spinoff? Yes, it did. I'll definitely watch it. It's the spinoff with Ronnie Ann and Bobby. I think that's going to be cool. Let's see. Tevye asks, Kat, how do you feel about Super Sons coming back? As I say every time, Tevye, I could care less about Super Sons. Won't be picking it up. Tony, Kat, do you think that Big Bang Theory will end its series strong, or will it end mixed like How I Met Your Mother? Hopefully end strong. Bobby Beast, what do you think about Miles Morales, Spider-Gwen, and Into the Spider-Verse? Stoked for it. Legend, isn't Spider-Gwen being portrayed by Dove Cameron? Yes, she is portraying her. Let's see. Scotty says we need to get Slime on Frontline Live. I'm good. I don't need to be slimed. All right, let's see. Flash Shape Chapter just broke my heart and said that they don't like Spider-Gwen. Brand says, I actually have been thinking of some special Zone 4 Media Madness crossover. We'll talk. Looking forward to it, Brant. Let's see. Bobby Beast, what is it like making your own comic, and what's the budget? I love it. It's, I love releasing my stories out to you guys. The budget, usually about our Kickstarter budget's usually like $3,500 to $4,000, depending on what we're doing. So that's usually the budget for the books. Let's see. Nathan, Kat, what was your favorite theme song in the 90s when it comes to comic book TV shows? Probably Batman. Legends, do you think we could have an LGBT character in a Loud House? We already do. Luna. And I guess technically Sam. And Clyde's parents. Flat Shape Chapter. Favorite Gold Ranger has to be the first one. Prince Troy, I think. On to Dragon Ball. Never on to Dragon Ball, Bobby Beast. I don't like Dragon Ball. Now, I know a lot of people like it, but I'm not a fan. Question, Kat, with the upcoming Spider-Geddon event, I'm just... yo, you already asked that, Tevia. I'm not going to answer that again. Who's better, Spider-Gwen or Gwenpool? Spider-Gwen. Legends Storm, I'm sorry, asked that. Favorite game of Carmen Sandiego? I think the only one I played was the World one. I hated it. I never could complete the missions. Really suck at geology. Geology, that's not it. Maps. Geography. Thank you. Brain. It was in my head, just couldn't say it. Geography. Really suck at it. So, as you can see. Favorite Pink Ranger? Kimberly. That was Legend Storm who waxed that. I got 25 viewers. Thank you guys for watching. Bane is the main villain again. How do you feel? In where? Where is Bane the main villain of? Question. Oh, you mean in the comics? I wasn't a big fan of the Bane story they did in Tom King's run, so not excited, I guess. Dude, what do you mean Dan Slott's writing Spider-Man again? He's not writing him. Where is he writing Spider-Man again? Grant Fowler says, what other character could they give Spider-Gwen-like treatment that would work that you'd like to see? And Spider-Gwen, I feel like, is 1 in a million. I don't know. Because I feel like everyone who's, like, died has come back. Maybe Captain Marvel in an alternate universe. Like, if we could see Captain Marvel in a different light, that way it doesn't affect that he died of cancer. I think that could work. That's the only character I could really think of. Because the reason Spider-Gwen worked, and I'll go on a little, I guess, not tangent, but just go on a little conversation here. The reason Spider-Gwen worked is because Gwen was dead for such a long time. We wanted her in some form. And I think it's because of how she was treated, too. You know, her being definitely a woman in refrigerator moment. And her character always being so based on Peter. So to have a story truly just turning it around and saying, hey, this is my world. I'm taking charge after a death like that. I think that's why Spider-Gwen is so poignant for people. So, and at least why I really like her. And I think it was just something different at the time, too. It wasn't, and obviously we've seen a lot of Spider characters, but her look was different. Her attitude was different. But at the same time, it still stayed true to what we know about Spider-Man, the responsibility aspect, the guilt that we really get to see here. And I think Gwenom really portrayed that very well. It's a special run. And I hope that whoever takes over Spider-Gwen in the future kind of touches upon that. And I think music was really interesting with that, too. If you guys don't know, I love seeing music portrayed in comics and how they do that, because I think it's always really interesting because it's a static medium, right? You know, how do you portray something that you usually listen to? And I think Gwen did it so well with Rico Renzi's coloring. Maybe I'll do a whole video on this, but what I really love is that turn from rock and roll to punk, because we get to see this kind of, if you don't know rock is, when it started, you know, it was kind of rebellious, but at the same time, it stayed true to culture. You know, it wasn't so rebellious that, like punk is just totally like shakes up the system, fight the anarchy type stuff. So rock had some sort of structure to it. And I feel like that's what Gwen was. You know, she kind of shaked the system a little bit by becoming Spider-Gwen, but she still followed her father's rules. She still followed the law, and she thought it was just in a lot of ways. So once Gwenom came along, kind of the punk rock roots came in, you know, and you felt kind of the emo style coming into it. And she realized that the law might not be on her side, and, you know, maybe justice won't always happen. She really kind of changed our view on things. And as we got to see her father get hurt as well. So it's kind of cool to see how music is influenced in the story and the aesthetic, obviously, as well. Just the energy is brought to the pencils. So it's cool. I think especially Spider-Gwen, you can analyze that a lot. I know that was kind of a tangent, but there you go. Mayday movie or game? Game. Kat, do you think Neil Adams' recent artwork has gone worse? Yeah, I haven't liked it. I hated that last page of Brand said, Bane. Yeah, I was like, oh, again. The only thing I'm really curious about is why is Gotham Girl there? Because last we saw her, she wasn't a villain, so I'm curious how she got there. Tony, Kat was the dumbest thing that has happened in TV show that made you scratch your head. Oh man, it's probably something on Vampire Diaries, honestly. that show jumped the shark. That show jumped the shark. No, he's not, Tevye. I don't think he is writing Spider-Geddon. That's Chris Gage is writing Spider-Geddon. Oh, okay. I missed this. I'm sorry. I saw on Sci-Fi now. Dan Slott's back for Spider-Geddon. I didn't see this article, so I'm reading this right now. Let's see what he's back for. Cover gives a pretty good indication of few blah blah. Where's? Let me see, because it doesn't say where he's. The headline says that. Redone. Has been collaborating with writer Christopher Gage, but blah to bring Spider-Gwen exactly as it sounds. Yeah, but he's not even titled on there, so I don't know how much he's gonna be involved, Tevye. I didn't even see this until now, but he's not even in the credits, so I think he's probably just talking to his friend and giving his advice because they work together. That's probably the extent of it. Creative experiment, sticking around to learn about new comic stuff. I'm more of a fan of the old stuff. Well, thank you. If you have any questions, let me know. Bobby Beat, Scott Snyder Batman or Grant Morrison Batman? Probably Scott Snyder. Tevye says Gwen was cloned more than once, but that was never original Gwen. I'm saying that's why Spider-Gwen was successful. It wasn't a clone of her. It wasn't part of Peter's plot. It was just because of her. She became her own character in a lot of ways. Flash chapter. First dumb superhero related thing on TV for me is Barry not telling Patty he's the Flash. Yeah, that was interesting, especially because he just told everyone else in that show. But not Patty. Tony, what show on TV right now that you think has ran its course? Arrow, for sure. What about Dark Knight's Metal? Did I like it, you're asking? Or about the music influence? Feel like the music influence was less obvious. I think the promotion for it was there, and I think the ending, you had it, but other than the name, I didn't really feel any music influence like I truly do with Spider-Gwen or something like Heavy Vinyl, or like a Dazzler book actually should have. Scotty says, love you guys who do an occasional music show. It's great to get inspiration from different art forms. Yeah, you never know. Maybe something for Media Madness or Frontline Live. We'll talk about it. Jesse says, hey. Tevye, question, Kat. Why can't Mayday Parker get another series? Sales, honestly. That's the reason. Good Spider-Gwen music to movie thoughts. Oh, man, I would love to see that. I think it'd be such a cool movie because, I mean, another thing that's interesting to look at is how music is used in superhero films and movies that come to mind that utilize music very well. Obviously, Guardians of the Galaxy. The reason that movie is so popular is because of the way they utilize music and injected it into the plot. But I think one that a lot of people don't look at and I really enjoy is Watchmen. I look over and over at the comedian's death scene. I think it's one of my favorite probably superhero scenes from any superhero movie, where you got Nat Cole, Unforgettable playing in the background. And it's just so poignant to the comedian's character and just tone of that. And it really shows, and, you know, something I even try to show with the dancer, it shows how fighting and dancing are so similar. And you see that with the music, just the way movements are with that scene. Another scene I really like that's utilized with music and fight scene in a superhero movie, Kick-Ass, Bad Reputation, Joan Jett, Hit Girl scene where she's in the hallway shooting everybody with that song playing. It just like, that's another one that I remember that scene because of that song. Recently, I think a really good scene from a movie that utilized music well was Deadpool 2, Dolly Parton's 9 to 5, because I love the contrast, you got Deadpool, this hardcore assassin guy, and then freaking 9 to 5 because it's him doing his job. I thought that was a really cool scene, and I'm excited when that comes out on DVD, honestly, just to rewatch that scene. Let's see. I didn't, Tevye, send me a link of actually seeing Dan Slott's name co-writing that, because I haven't seen him on the credits. And again, I just saw that article just now. Yeah, I did say a movie from Mayday. You said a game or a movie. I thought I said movie. I want a movie. Scotty, you've written movie scripts, reviews for many mediums. You think you could write a song? No. I could try, man. I don't think I could. No, I don't. I mean, there's opportunities I could do it for like Father Like Daughter, and that's something I've been like, do I do it or do I not? I don't know. I would have to do a lot of research on how to write a song before doing that. There's definitely opportunities I could do it for, but with upcoming like Father Like Daughter stuff. But yeah, I don't know. Probably not. That's the only opportunity I think I would have to do that. Last cue from Scotty. If there was a blackout for a week, do you think that would be a good thing? Sometimes I could use a blackout. I have a generator, so I don't think I would actually officially have the blackout. So I don't think so. I remember why we got the generators because Sandy, we didn't have power for a week. And yeah, the first day's fine, but in October with no heat, it was really cold. Couldn't really sleep well. Probably not. Bobby Beast, grab in the new Spider-Man game. I wish, man. I don't have a PlayStation, or else I would get it. It looks so cool. I'm jealous. Brand said, "Cat, just look it up," and there was a press release that said Slott was teaming up with Gage to write it. The Tevye is right, man. I didn't see that. Maybe as while I was away, but I don't care. I mean, I like Slott. I like him as a writer, and I truly believe it's going to be more of Gage's writing there, and it's probably just Dan Slott, like, consulting with Gage for the story. Because they have co-written so many times. But I thought people love Mayday. They do, but when she has a series, her sales are not to Marvel's area. So that's why we haven't seen a Mayday series. But the fans is what saved her so many times. Yeah, see, Brand says that Gage is the writer, not him. So I think it's just more of a consulting thing. But again, I didn't read the article yet. Question, this is from Tevye. How do I feel about Ben Reilly coming back as Scarlet Spider? I don't read it. I've never been a huge Ben fan, so another thing that just doesn't really affect me. Thoughts on, this is from Bobby Beast, thoughts on Doomsday Clock. I like the beginning a lot more than I have like the middle. I think the pacing's a little off, and that's definitely because of the gaps it leaves with the 2 months. It comes out every 2 months, and as somebody who reads a lot of comics, it's hard to remember what happened in the last issue. So it probably is going to be a better trade read. Kat is an artiste. We have lots of creative people in our community. Yeah, we do. Music videos and movies are pretty cool. They are. Cinnamon rolls or donuts? Tony asks. Probably cinnamon rolls, but I don't really crave either. Yeah, see? That's what Jesse said. He's probably consulting. Sky says, sure, you could write a song. At one point, I remember you said you'd never make your own comic. That's true, man. That is true. Legend Storm TV, what is your thoughts on Fox accepting Disney's offer? I don't know. I feel like I've over talked about that at this point. Just kind of wait and see what they end up doing with it. I didn't, Nick. I didn't know you had it. Kat said, did you get a chance to watch? I mean, Kat said, I'm Kat. Nick said, Kat, did you get a chance to watch my review of the Life Followed Daughter issue 1 through 4? I didn't get to see it. I'll go check it out. Thank you. After this, I'll watch it and leave my comment. Thank you for covering it. I hope you enjoyed it. All right. Tevia said, Kat, how did you feel about Bendis taking over Bold Superman Action Comics? I think he's been doing a solid job so far. Last Shapeshifter, would you audition for Mayday or Cassie? Oh, man. I don't know. I wouldn't audition for either. But if I was like, oh, you got to play somebody, probably Mayday. Tevia, except slot. All right, I'm not going to get into that. I'm sorry. Legend Storm TV, is there another Power Rangers RPG in the works for Me and Madness? There is. I believe it's like right after the song one. I believe it's in August, so look forward to that. Tony, Kat, are you a horror fan? Love horror. Yep, I am. Mostly slashers, though. That's kind of my genre. Legend Storm TV, how much of the frontline crew will be at Comic-Con? At San Diego, just me, and Nicole will be there as well. Bobby Beast, what's the process of writing movie scripts and which have you written? What's the process of writing a movie script? I write a little less movie scripts than I do TV and comics. Of course, it's been a while since I've written a movie script, but just knowing your acts, knowing, why you want to tell this story, your exciting incident, and how you want to pace it. I mean, what's really important is outlining, just like anything else, is just outlining your story before you get into a movie script. I think a lot of people, they're like, I just want to write a movie, and they just jump into it. But you got to know your story before you really jump into it. And to see how many beats you have in each act really helps. And just knowing the 3-act structure for a movie. So that's a suggestion I give you if you want to write a movie script. But again, I'm a little bit more, at least currently, more into writing television and comics. I might go back to movies, but again, TV and comics are kind of my thing. Let's see. I put a link on Discord to Slot's own words. There you go. Flash Shapeshifter, you did a Power Ranger RPG. Are you the Red Ranger? No, I was the Pink Ranger. I was Kimberly. And you go check that out. Media Madness, Comic Frontline. Nathan asks, do you still read the Injustice comics? I do. It's actually one of my favorite DC books. I really enjoy it. I love Tom Taylor's voice on those characters. Question, Kat, how do you feel about Spider-Gwen? You already asked me that, Tevia. I'm looking forward to it. I think it's cool that we get Mayday in general. Let's see. He's okay, so that was just a comment on Dan Slott, Jesse was saying. Nick says, I commented the review of Life Followed Daughter that the main character looks a lot like you. I get that a lot, which is weird because the story I always tell people is that she was not originally supposed to have curly hair. It was just because she looked similar to another character named Casey that we had to give her a different physical feature. So my publisher said, do you want to give her curly hair or something? I'm like, sure, let's do that. So I think because of the curly hair, that's why people think I look like her. And I've also gotten questions from people saying, is this based on you? I'm like, no, my dad didn't leave me to become a superhero. And I've gotten those questions a lot. I have a very good relationship with my dad. So it's interesting to get those questions. I have to say, in comics, I try, or even stories, I try not to base things too much on my life. I think then it gets a little bit too personal. I'm sure things seep in, but I try not to base it too much on my life. Just try to tell interesting stories. Flash Shapeshifter says, Cat for Mayday Parker. Let's see. Kenneth says, I need to start reading other indie books other than Paper Girls. Paper Girls is a good one, though. Tevia, question, Cat, do you play any horror games? Just Resident Evil. Nick Lenz, are you planning on coming to another Comic-Con in Florida? I mean, my brother lives there, so definitely a big possibility. Depending where I'm at next year, hopefully I'll do MegaCon again. That'll be fun. Florida's pretty much my second home, so just came back from there. Tevye, question, Kat, any plans to come to a con in North Carolina? Not right now. I don't have any plans. I do end up, I think Charlotte's in North Carolina, right? Let me see where Charlotte is, because I end up in Charlotte a lot. Yeah, I end up in Charlotte of going to my brother. That's how you have to take a transfer flight, so a connecting flight. So I end up there. So I know the airport, but other than that, that's the only time I've ever been in North Carolina. But you never know, never say never. I do have Baltimore planned. I never thought I'd go to Baltimore. So I'm gonna be in Baltimore in September. So I've been to Chicago, never thought I'd be in Chicago. So yeah, you never know where cons are gonna take you. All right, let's see. Nick Lenz, what anime have you watched that you did not like? I haven't liked Dragon Ball Z. Legends, are you planning on doing a con in Georgia? There is one not too far from me in Valdosta, Georgia. I don't think I'll be doing any conventions anytime soon there, but I know our company, Short Fuse, is opening their doors in Atlanta, Georgia. So never say never for that. Just if we ever sometimes we collaborate for conventions and we try to get multiple people from our team into a convention. So if we ever plan that, like we did Chicago, I guess never say never for that. And I hear Dragon Con is huge. So maybe one day I'll end up doing that if it's big for comics. Tony, Kat, do you think Hollywood should come up with new slashers? Totally. I would love that. Although I'm stoked for the new Halloween. Bobby Beast, your thoughts on Tom King's Batman? I like it. I'm sorry, I was reading someone else at the same time. That's why I paused for a second. I really like it. I really enjoy his run. I think there's some hiccups and Bane. I didn't love the jokes and riddles, but the other stuff I really enjoyed. Loved the Gotham Girl stuff. I personally liked the lead up to the wedding. I thought was really good. Tevye, question, Kat. How did you feel about Peter J. Tomasi Superman and Dan Jurgens Action Comics as a whole? They're okay for me. I'm just not a hardcore Superman fan. There really has to be something great for me to love it. So yeah, I'm just not a huge Superman fan. Thank you, Nick. So he says he enjoyed meeting me at MegaCon Orlando. I appreciate that. I enjoyed meeting you as well. Legends Tomorrow TV. Is Casey's dad a tool? Got to read the book, man. But I'll say no, he's not. You understand him a little bit better as you read the book and you see that not everything's black and white. Things are complicated. And you see why he left. You get that answer by issue 4. Why he left. Yeah, so I wouldn't call. I try to paint him that way in the first issue because it's in the point of view of Casey. But no, I don't think he is. And I think that's why people like him, because he's not a tool. Definitely keep coming with the questions, like father-daughter questions. That'd be great. I'll be on for maybe another 15 minutes. So Chancellorville. I don't know where that is. Bobby played Resident Evil 7. Are you hyped for Resident Evil 2 remake? Yeah, totally. Why do I hate it? It's just not my thing, Bobby. I just don't really like the pacing. I don't like the characters much. It's very much like punch, 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 punch. I don't really, for me, there's not a lot of story there. So, but maybe I didn't watch the right episodes. Tevye. Kat, how do you feel about My Hero Academia? I haven't had a chance to watch it. At the same con, I met Peter J. Tomasi, Meredith and David Finch, Matthew Rosenberg, Ed McGuinness, and John Schnepp. I got to say hi to Meredith. Every con I go to that she's there, I get to say hi to her, which is nice. I didn't get to, I get to see anyone else. I didn't, honestly. I was sitting at my booth the whole time. So, yeah. All right. Tony says, Kat, do you watch American Horror Story? I do not. Flash Shapeshifter. Has Carol Danvers found a way to redeem herself after the events of Civil War II? Not yet. Not yet at all. Uh, all right. Question from Legend Storm TV. What is your favorite part about writing, like Twilight Daughter? Probably figuring out the characters. I feel, especially with this trade, I've been having to reread my issues and really look at them because just some littering stuff we've been fixing up. So just to make the trade even better. So I've been fixing that and reading back at it. It's interesting to see how the characters have changed so much. Casey probably has changed the least since my original writing of it. I definitely understood her character a lot when I was writing it, and kind of knowing where she was going to go. With this beginning of this arc to issue 8 is technically where the first arc ends, but we split it in 2 for the trade. And issue 4 is still a perfect place for the arc to end and continue for the next one. But yeah, issue 8 in my mind, I count that as the first arc. And I've always knew she was going to go that direction. So once you read that, you'll see what I'm saying. Wes, I think, has grown to be a better friend for Casey and Stephanie. Originally he was just kind of there for the commentary, like us. He was the superhero fan. And now I think more than just being the superhero fan, I analyzed their relationship. Their dynamic is super interesting because all 3 of them have completely different personalities. And I think that's what makes their friendship work. I think all successful friendships work where you're not the same person and you have some differences. I know those are always my strongest friendships personally. And then Steph, I think, has changed the most since creating her. Stephanie originally really was just a supportive friend, and I love that about her too, because I think that's something we needed for a character. First of all, because she's a supporting character, but just to have a supportive friend who's a girl, you don't get to see that in media that often. That's kind of what she was there for, and that's definitely still her personality. Is that no matter what, she'll protect the people she loves, and she kind of puts other people ahead of herself. That's definitely part of her character. But I've definitely, out of all the characters, discovered a bit more about her. And I've revealed this in other videos, so I could say it here. She's a musician. I didn't know that originally when I wrote her. We're going to get a lot from that. And she's bi. And I didn't know that originally. Don't want to say I didn't know that, but I think I discovered that more as I was writing her character. And I reveal that because I think other people would kind of use that as a plot thing. They're like, "Oh my god, a character's bisexual," and I don't do that. She's just a bisexual character, and that's part of her story. It's just part of her character, it's who she is. I don't want to use it as this kind of plot device. I think she's gonna have some really interesting story with it too that we're gonna see in the post issue 8. So, and get to see more of the trio's friendship, which I love. That's, at least for me, is the heart of the book. I think obviously the heart of the book is Invulnerable and Casey's relationship as well. But I think what makes the book special for me writing it is those friendships. The trio really works for me, and what I really enjoy writing is those scenes. But of course, I enjoy writing the Invulnerable and Casey scenes as well. This is a completely different dynamic, especially now if you've read up to issue 4, that they're reconnecting. That they don't. Casey doesn't have that wall up. She always has that wall up for everybody, and she's open. And I think that's something interesting to explore with her. So, thank you for the question. All right, let's see. Nick says, I talked to Meredith about you. What did Meredith say? What did you guys say? That's awesome, though. Thank you. I appreciate that. That's cool. I definitely would like to hear what your conversation was. I'm glad you got to see her. She's one of the nicest people in the comic industry. Sorry, I was reading some at the same time. Tevia says, question, Kat, now that Miles Morales book is dead. Dead. Who do you think Miles Morales' new writer is going to be? I have no clue, honestly. I really don't. Tony, how hot do you like your chicken wings? Really hot. I always like try, unless it's like level hot where it's just like it's a contest type thing. I probably won't get it that hot. I always try to get it like the hottest I can. If you really like hot food. Flash Shape Chapter. Any lesser known X-Men you want to see more from? Dazzler, man, Dazzler. Nick, is there a comic creator you always want to meet but never have? I've really met a lot of the comic creators I've wanted to. I haven't met Tom King yet. I haven't like officially met him, so that'd be cool. I'm planning to meet Ryan Parrott during Do Rights Go Go for Power Rangers. That should be fun. I haven't met him yet. I've met a lot of. I mean, Tom DeFalco, I've met a couple of times, which is awesome. He's actually gone to my table, so that's pretty cool. So I've met a lot of people I admire, so it's awesome. And I've met Meredith a lot of times. Yeah, I've gone to meet a lot of cool comic creators through this gig. Nick said Meredith Fitch and I talk good things about you. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Let's see. Sorry. All right, sorry. Kenneth says, Kat, was a good Captain Marvel run to read? Probably her last Miss Marvel run was my favorite. Bobby Beast, like Folly Daughter, do you think about writing a script and potentially directing it? I don't know if I would direct it because I'm not a director, but scripts have been written. I'll say scripts have been written. Let's see. Tony says, does Jay still try to get you to watch Young Sheldon? He's never tried to get me to watch Young Sheldon. Flash Shape Chapter, what are your thoughts on clone arcs? Very rarely done correctly. Tevia, question, Kat, do you think Stephanie Brown Tim will come back soon? I hope so. Bobby B says, you're truly inspiring. Well, thank you. Appreciate that. Nick says, I've met Kyle Higgins. Yeah, I've gotten to talk to Kyle a couple of times, which is cool. Question, Kat, do you think Marvel needs to be doing pointless crossover events? I mean, some of the crossovers are fun, but not all. Let's see. Tevia says he would love to meet Tom DeFalco one day. Legends has to go, he said. Thank you for joining me. Let's see. Tevia says, speaking of Captain Marvel, I'm just wondering, what about DC's Captain Marvel, a.k.a. Billy? Are you excited for the movies? Because me, personally, I'm excited. Yeah, I'm interested in the movie. Excited for Jeff Johns to be doing more with the Captain Marvel family. Kenneth says, you're awesome. Thank you. Appreciate that. Brant says, I bet when Jay meets creators, you know, Kat, he tells them you are evil and have no soul. I'm sure those are the rumors being spread. That's why I got to get Jay away from those creators. Nick said, Kelly Sue DeConnick on Captain Marvel has really good, but was really bad artwork. I didn't like it much. I couldn't get into that one. I was always very on and off. All right, well, let's get to the last minute questions, guys, because I'm just going to tell you what's coming up for me and then start wrapping up the show. So, again, last minute questions now. What's coming up for me? Like I said, got a lot going on, just binging stuff right now. Told you the articles that are coming up. Hopefully I have some fandom articles to you soon. Comic Uno episode. I'll have, I don't know why I just made that like sucking noise. I'm sorry. My lips are dry. Comic Uno episode will be this week, of course. Get that done. Legends Tomorrow podcast hopefully will be posted before Comic-Con. And I have a ton of stuff coming up for you guys for Comic-Con. I hope you enjoy the coverage. I know I'm excited and already exhausted thinking about it. But I am very excited for Comic-Con and see what's coming up for that. So yeah, that's what's coming up. Look out for more like Folly Daughter stuff, like I said. Convention-wise, don't have anything until, well, I have obviously San Diego, and then September, I have Baltimore. So those are things planned. Then October, I have New York Comic-Con. All right. See those last minute questions. Let's see. Kenneth says, Kat, have you ever met Dan Jurgens or Jerry Ordway? I've not met either creator. Bobby Beast, good night. Keep being awesome. You'd be a great director. Try it. Guess you never know. But I don't know. I was going to read that again. Flash Shapeshifter, where is Shazam? He's getting a movie. Shouldn't he get a book? He is. Jeff Johns has announced he's going to be writing that. I don't think we have a date for it yet, though. Nick Lenz, when is Like Father Like Daughter issue 5 expected to come out? With the Kickstarter, we have the Kickstarter coming out this summer. So look forward to that. And it's going to be the trade first. But I'll say that issue 5 will be involved with that Kickstarter. I will say that. But I guess I could say that it's a stretch goal. So hopefully we make our goal for the trade, and then our stretch goal is issue 5. So all our backers can get issue 5. And there's something big that happens in it. I'm really excited for you guys to read. So really fun issue, as always. Scotty, thanks, as always, for answering the cues. Even though you're sick, feel better. Thanks for sharing, as always. Thank you. Brant says, great Q&A. Kat, talk to you soon. Talk to you soon, Brant. Thanks for sticking with me. Tevia says, final question, Kat. How do you feel about Flash War, potentially having Wally West Flash bringing back Wally's kids? I like the writing so far. Haven't liked the artwork. Matt, did you see the new Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Anniversary Funko Pops? I did. I want to get the Kimberly one. Jesse said, great Q&A. I'm glad I caught it. Thank you. I'm glad you caught it too, Jesse. Take it easy, Brant, the OG. Guess I shouldn't make my Where's Shazam shirt. Yeah, not just yet, Flash Shapeshifter. All right, so I think that's the end, guys. Thank you for joining me. And, of course, next month in August, I will have another Q&A. And I'm glad I got a lot of people on this one. I guess I picked a good time. So thanks, guys, again. This is Comic-Uno. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter. Don't forget to like my Facebook page. Also, description below, there are links to my comic book, Like Father, Like Daughter. And don't forget to like the Facebook page of Like Father, Like Daughter. And I'll see you guys later. Bye.